Hi guys, LoveBookTriangleLindsey here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about rookie reader mistakes. So going into the new year, being 2019, I thought it would be fun to discuss different mistakes you might make if you're just getting into reading, because I know I have made some of these mistakes. I thought I could warn some of you before you got started. So first I'm going to talk about one of the mistakes of picking what you want to read. Now, when I first got back into reading, I was just kind of going off of some recommendations by my friends, and that was great. That helped get me started. But then I started doing some research. When you find websites like Goodreads or here in the BookTube community and just word of mouth from your friends, you start to hear a lot of hype about different books. That just got me going. I just started picking up stuff because of what I heard. I wasn't necessarily sticking to what I myself really enjoyed to read. I just think right off the bat, don't even listen to all the talk around you. You gotta really read what you enjoy, because if you start out that way and you just start listening to everyone else, you could end up not wanting to read because you're not reading books that you like, so it's not going to be an enjoyable activity for you. So always stick to what you like. It's fun to branch out and try new things, sure, but when you get started, I would recommend just making sure you stay true to you and what you like to read. Another rookie mistake is buying books without shopping around. Books cost money. Money doesn't grow on trees. It's back when I started reading in 2015. I went to my local Half Price Books. It's a discount bookstore if you've never heard of them. And I bought 3 different books. I bought Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover, Poison by Sarah Pinborough, and I bought Crank by Ellen Hopkins. Now, I bought Maybe Someday because when I was doing my research, Colleen Hoover was a name that popped up a lot, and I thought if they had a book of hers, it would be fun to read. Now, I went on this trip with my friend. She was getting all these books, and I was in the mood like, I'm shopping, I want to buy something, so that kind of drove my motivation too. But anyway, then I bought Poison because of the cover. It's red, it's a villainy kind of story, and it was $5, so I thought it would be a good buy. I bought Crank because I looked at it and it was just kind of a short book, and I thought that was cute. And then when I opened it up, I liked her writing. I knew nothing about Ellen at the time, but I just liked how it was different, and I thought that would be fun to read. Now, luckily for me, Ellen turned out to be one of my favorite authors, so that turned out in the end. And Poison is the fairy tales but the evil twist, and I don't always like a cookie cutter ending, so the evil twist again worked out for me. And ironically, Colleen Hoover is one of my favorite authors, and Maybe Someday might be one of her most popular books, but Maybe Someday is the least favorite of hers that I've ever read. Even though that is the first book of hers that I picked up, it is not the first book of hers that I read. That one just kind of sat on my shelf for a while. So if that was the first book that I read by her, I probably wouldn't have liked her, because that is my least favorite book, but I'll talk more about that in an unpopular opinion video. Sorry, I am getting way off point here. This one was about buying books without shopping around, but I'm going to kind of change it to don't do the cover buys, and then I'll go back to that one. Sorry, got off topic. But luckily it worked out for me, but in other instances it did not. I learned very quickly not to cover buy, because when I did, that's wasting money. I don't even know if I'm gonna like the book. Just because something looks pretty, don't buy it, everybody. So that is a big thing. Stick to what you know, do more research, and if you can, go to the library first. So now we'll go back to buying books without shopping around. where I started with this is Half Price Books has discounted books, and that is a great help. There are the big stores like Barnes & Noble, Amazon, you have places like Walmart, Target, whatever your local store is. Sometimes, yes, there are some deals, but you should always look around first before spending the most money on a book. I mean, if money isn't that big of a deal to you when you're buying your favorite books or your auto buy authors, then great. But someone like me, I have to think of the money aspect. If you have a local library you have access to, that's a great way to save money. Or places like the Half Price Books. You can look at places like Book Depository and Book Outlet. Book Outlet has books that are cheaper because they get them from other places, or there's even some scratch and dent, and I've only had one issue with a scratch and dent from them with a ripped book jacket, but I mean, you're getting them scratch and dent, so you think something could be wrong with them before you got them. But otherwise my scratch and dents were really great, and they just put a little, let's see, do I have one? They just put a little mark on the books. But otherwise I like going to different Goodwills. There's Goodwills around here, or some St. Vinny's is like a Goodwill store, and can get books for cheap. I was looking for this book and it was like $7 at Half Price Books, and I just thought I would wait because it wasn't high on my list, and then I found it for, if you could see that, $1.05. Oops, sorry, $1.05 at a thrift store. And even I think this one was cheaper than that because the color of the day was what the sticker was, and then it was half price even still. So lots of times I find books in great conditions at Goodwills. I've even found some signed books there before, and I mean, shopping at Goodwill is just like shopping at Half Price Books. It's used books. So you need to shop around to find the best price. There's even Jet.com, when it first came about, they had a lot of different coupons and deals going on because they were just launching their website and they wanted people to use it. So you gotta look for the different promotions out there so you're gonna get the best bang for your buck. And if that's something important to you and you're trying to save money, definitely shop around. And also, something that you may not know about is there are different promotions sometimes as a pre-order incentive. So Amazon does it when you pre-order, and then whatever point that you pre-order at, if the book becomes cheaper after you pre-order it, then that is the price you are going to pay for the book. So that is something nice that they do. Look for those pre-order incentives that are out there. I've gotten some cool stuff with that before, so while you're shopping around for the low price, to try to get that pre-order incentive. That's just something to think about. Another rookie reader mistake is buying books and you have nowhere to put them. When I first started my love for reading again, I lived at my parents' and my room was already packed with a million different things. I like to craft as well, and that is what my room was filled with, so I really had nowhere to put my books. I just had them in a stack by the side of my bed, and I tried to clear different spaces and get creative with where I could put them, but you only have so much space. Now I have 3.5 bookshelves, and luckily I do have enough space. The bottom of 3 of my bookshelves, that very last shelf, is kind of the stash this where you can. So I have to now kind of correct some of my rookie reader mistakes and go back, look at those books I bought as cover buys or because of hypes that I heard, and I just got the book because of that. I'm gonna have to go back and probably remove some of those from my shelves. I thought about doing it before, but I just didn't want to because it hurts knowing that I spent money on it in the first place. I'm gonna do it, and at least at my Half Price Books, I can sell back books and try to get a little bit of money for them. Another rookie reader mistake is trying to enter different contests for books and then you end up not reading them. At the beginning, I had found some different ways to enter to try to win books because I was just like, oh, I want to read this, I want to read that, and I just want to get so much information and dive into so many different worlds. I didn't realize at the time how rare it could be to win a book or to get an arc, or how special that was, and I just kept entering and entering, and there's some books that I just never read. It was a little bit more of the excitement of getting it, and now I realize how special it is to get an arc and for the author, for you to read the book and review it to help them get word of their book out there. So don't just start getting books or entering contests for books so you can start building up your library and just get your collection going, because it's not fair to the author, not fair to the people who really do want to read the books, and it's just not fair to you either for getting all that clutter and extra on your bookshelf. So those are just some of the rookie reader mistakes that I have encountered in my life. Let me know down below if there are some other mistakes that you guys have encountered or you think should be talked about. Thanks guys. Bye.